It's your favorite super duper mother daughter duo coming to you with all the positive vibes and helping you become exactly who you want to be. We're giving out all the good stuff on this podcast, and it's your host Takoa and Nasara. So grab your mug because it's time for tea. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's time for tea, where we are teaching, empowering, and applying. I'm Takoa.
And I'm Nasara.
And today we're going to talk about what keeps us from conquering our goals. We're going to call this episode Goal Blockers. So can we get into what's the definition of a goal? What is a goal anyway?
So a goal is an idea of the future or desired result that a person or a group of people envision, plan, and commit to achieve.
Okay.
So that is the definition of what a goal is.
Okay. It's whatever you aspire to achieve.
Mm-hmm. Either individually or as a group.
What are some typical goals that we have as people? Like, what are some of the goals that we have?
So some of the goals that we have are short-term goals, long-term goals, lifetime goals, health and fitness goals, career goals, financial goals, business goal, and also personal goals and family goals. So these are the list of various goals. So there's a slew of goals. So it's not just one set thing that you have to focus on. It's very broad.
Yeah. Okay. And I know there are, let's do some examples like weight loss. You want to lose like 50 pounds before, a few months down the road. You want to get to CEO of a company, or you want to become an executive. Those are some type of goals that people have too.
Correct.
Yeah.
And some people have goals where they want to climb a particular mountain, Kilimanjaro. That's a goal that people set. Some people want to run the Olympics, or run the not the Olympics, but the with those races, the 5K,
triathlons, and stuff like that.
Those are goals. All of those are things that people have a desire and they want to achieve.
Okay. Do you think like goals they align with the bucket list idea?
I think it does. It's almost like the bucket list, because it's things that you want to achieve before you close your eyes. So It is almost similar to like a bucket list. Some goals are short and some goals are years down the road, what I would like to accomplish before I pass away. So yes, it's similar to a bucket list.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So what are some facts about goals? Like, are we all out here doing these goals? Is everyone a goal getter?
No, everyone is not a goal getter. Actually, I was reading something. I was very I was sort of thrown back that a lot of people aren't goal setters, because I've always been a person who had goals and I've always put them down and tried to achieve those things. So it stated that 80% of people never sets goals for themselves. Wow. So 80% of people never set goal for themselves.
So 8 out of 10.
Yeah. And of the 20% of the population that does set goals, only 70%, no, roughly 70% of them fail to achieve the goal that they set out to accomplish.
Wow.
So people have the desire, they don't have the tenacity or the willpower to go through it to the end. So somewhere they lost their strength or their desire.
I would say it's not easy. It's not easy to set a goal and just conquer it. You have to have vision, you have to have focus, and you have to be consistent.
And some people get disappointed at the beginning. They don't want to lose. They don't set it because they don't want to fail themselves.
Yeah. So they don't start because they're scared.
Yeah, they're scared.
Okay. So let's get into some things like, what are some of the reasons why goals are blocked? So some of the reasons why goals aren't being attained or aren't being conquered are because you're not being specific. So that means that you're saying, I want to lose weight. Okay, but how much weight? How much weight and when do you want to lose it by? Get specific with your goals, and it really helps to make it realistic for you.
True.
The next one is saying, I'll wait until I feel ready. I talk to my clients all the time. You'll never be ready. There will never be the perfect moment. I think we talked about being a perfectionist before. There's never a right time. Like, the right time is right now.
Correct.
So when I feel ready, I'll do it. It's not gonna happen. I'm not anticipating the tough time. So a lot of times we set goals and we're like, I'm going to do this. You step outside and then somebody drives in a puddle and splashes water on you. And you're like, you know what? I'm going back in the house. You have to be prepared to get splashed on. You have to be prepared for things to not go your way 100%, because trust me, they won't.
Correct.
They will not. And I like that when things go wrong, because you learn early on how to adjust and make changes, because there's always going to be something that needs adjusting to. So the faster you can get over the hills and the bumps, the faster you can come up with the adjustments needed to keep going. The next one is viewing mistakes as failure. I know, like, people hate when I say this. Failing is a thing, but I don't like to say failure at all. I say it was a mistake. We fell short. We didn't go all the way that time. But to me, failing is when you decide to quit.
Yeah.
Failing is when you decide to no longer try. That's when I consider, okay, we failed. But as long as you're trying, you're not a failure to me. You're learning, you're making mistakes, you're getting back up, you're making those adjustments I just talked about earlier. Okay, the next one is not making your goal a priority. I really want to write this book. But I also want to help my friend start her bakery. I also want to help my friend, travel. I also want to help my husband do this. I also want to help my daughter with schoolwork all the time. You're not putting any time aside for yourself. Even if you put an hour a week, an hour a day, an hour every 3 days to the side to make your dreams a priority, it'll make a huge difference and benefit you in the long run. I promise. We don't think of an hour as a lot of time, but an hour can be detrimental to your success. Just putting
Correct.
that hour to the side. Okay. Next is underestimating the journey. So that ties into not really expecting the tough times, not being prepared. A lot of times we see people, like, we think they're like overnight celebrities, but it takes time. It
Years.
takes time, yeah, and consistency. And you have to be prepared to put in the work so you can see the desired results.
Correct.
Okay, so if it's not coming as fast as you thought it would, it's okay. Be patient. Your time will come. The world is probably testing you to see if you're serious, if you are really going to put the work in, or if you're going to be one of those quitters.
If you're going to stand or fall.
Yep, one of the 30% that don't achieve their goals. So the next one, which is great along with this one, is giving up. Underestimating the journey and then giving up and saying, you know what, I'm done. I've seen that a lot. I've seen, we talk about what people want to do, and I come back to my clients like, hey, what happened with such and such? Oh, I just stopped. Okay. All right. Well, is it still something you want to do? Yeah, but not right now. I'll do it when I'm ready. It's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
I can see right there they gave up. It's not going to happen. The next part is sabotaging. So I don't know if we talked about self-sabotage, but self-sabotage is
Yes, we
so
did.
real. I was listening to a podcast just today, and people were talking about the fear of being successful and how, I don't think I'm worthy. I don't want to leave all my friends behind. So you have to be careful that you do not sabotage yourself and be less than what you're meant to be. You have to keep moving forward, moving upwards. You have to keep progressing, and you have to believe in yourself. And that takes a level of confidence and consistency once again. The last one is not being realistic. I'm going to lose 50 pounds this month. Is it impossible? I'm not sure. I don't specialize in weight gain and weight loss, but that's a stretch. Let's start off with 10 pounds.
Or 5.
Start off with 5. Let's start off with, let's start off with a smaller number. And this is one is for me. I can be unrealistic. I'm going to make $1 million. I haven't made my first $10, and I'm talking about I'm going to make $1 million. So I had to reschedule. I had to reset my goals and say, okay, I'm going to make $50. I'm going to make $100.
Yep.
I'm going to make $1,000. I had
Start small.
Yes, I had to backtrack myself and set realistic goals that the world can work with, rather than I'm going to make $1 million. How? You've never made it before. I'm just going to make it. It's going to come. No, start small. So set
Mhm.
realistic goals, realistic expectations. Be gentle with yourself. That'll help so that you won't be let down,
Mhm.
because these are goals that you can accomplish. Start small. I said something you say is don't eat the whole elephant in one sitting. Take
Yeah,
it one chunk
one
at a
chunk.
time. Yep, and that goes right along with this. So I can definitely relate to the being realistic one. That is me all the way, and that is something I definitely had to work on. I would
Mhm.
feel so bad that I wasn't accomplishing my goals, and it's because my goals were astronomical.
Yes.
So I was accomplishing small steps, but I didn't realize those small steps because I was looking at the big end goal. So you have to sit back and accomplish small things and appreciate those small things because that will keep you going. That will give you the momentum you need to keep going.
Mhm.
Okay?
Definitely.
Yeah, do you want to add anything to some goal blocks?
Well, what I found out as I was reading it, fear of success or fear of failures. One of the things that stop people is that a lot of people, they, like you said, they don't believe they're worthy of success, and they feel like people are going to, um, come against them or think that they're better than. And then it's the failure of success is I gave up. And again, these same people feel like people are going to say something negative, someone's going to criticize me. And with that, it is the what did they say? It's actually just self-confidence and feeling secure with yourself, because either which way, if you're successful or if you accomplish your goal or if you didn't, people are still going to talk about you. So you got to
Regardless.
take them out of the realm of what you want to do with your life. Your future is what people are going to say. Who cares? You have to do what's best for you, what makes you feel good, despite of what people's are saying around you, because
Yeah.
it don't matter what they're saying. This is about you.
Hmm.
This is about your future, your goal, your desires, what you want to do for your tomorrow, your today.
I
So,
will add on one more thing too. Listening to outside influences can definitely block your goals if you're saying, I want to do this, and then someone's saying, oh, well, why don't you do it this way? Or why don't you just do something else? And
or
you're
why would you do
listening.
that? Or
Yeah,
why would you do
or
that?
being negative and have
Oof.
you start self-doubting yourself, then yeah. So definitely outside influences as well can definitely have a big effect on if we continue with our goals or not, and stretching ourselves. So that's why I say put that hour to the side for your goals, put that hour to the side for yourself. Let that be a part of your self-care process and your
Mhm.
self-love for the day. Like, I'm going to love myself and I'm going to work on this thing. I'm going to put some time away to
Mhm.
do this.
And
So
like you said, and just a little time. It doesn't have to be like I have to dedicate 8 hours to it if you don't have it. Baby step this thing, even if it's 30 minutes, even if it's an hour, even if it's 40 minutes a day, just something for you, for your goal towards your complete fullness of who you want to be and what you want to do in your life.
yep,
So
you
it
have
makes a
to.
difference.
Yeah, it definitely does. And it's just, you have to. Like, no one else is going to do it for you. You
No.
have to be the one to say, this is for me, and I am going to start conquering my goals.
And I deserve it.
Yeah, and I deserve it. And, don't procrastinate on it. Don't sit on it. Don't sleep on it. Just get to work and start doing it. And a lot of times, another goal blocker is fear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People are, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how that's going to work. And that's when I come in, a life coach who can kind of walk you through it. Get yourself a accountability partner. Even if it's your best friend, if it's your mom, if it's your sister, your brother, your significant other, get yourself an accountability partner and let them know, hey, in about a week, I need you to check up on me and see if I did blah blah blah. Every Wednesday, call me and see if I worked out for the week yet, or
Yep.
if I'm eating right. Check and make sure that I'm not spending crazy because I have a budget goal.
Mm-hmm.
So there are ways to do it. It's to find somebody who can, outside of yourself, to hold yourself accountable. Because when you're holding your own self accountable, most likely it's harder,
Yeah, you're gonna
because
slack up. You're gonna
yeah, and then you turn into that I'm gonna do it someday, because you're talking to yourself. And you need somebody, an outside source, to continually remind you of what you told yourself and you told them that you wanted to do. Also putting notes down, like reminders. I want to do this in this amount of time. That's a good way. Like when it's proven that if you write down a goal, you're more likely to achieve it because you see it.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere where you'll see it on your fridge, put it on your bathroom mirror, put it somewhere on your laptop where you'll see it consistently, and you'll be reminded that this is something that I need to do.
Even in your car, I've done that. I wrote it in my car and stuck it on my dashboard or something so I can see it. Even in my car, there's certain things like, okay, this is my focus. I need to make sure that this is something I look at.
Yeah, that's really smart. Put it right on the dashboard or right on the steering wheel. Yeah, you turn it and you know, I need to be working on this. Okay. And there's ways to make it easier. Like if you're trying to lose weight, join a gym and get with like these what are those dance programs? Get with like a dance program, like Zumba or something
Zumba.
like that. Yeah. There are ways
aerobic size and all that. Yep.
Girl, they have pole dancing fitness classes. Like you can do anything you set your mind to, and you can do that thing with other people. Yep. You know, if you want to write a book, meet up with some writers, get into their heads, see how it goes. You know, there's ways to do things. Don't sleep on yourself. Don't let fear hold you back. You just really have to do it. Like Nike.
Nothing to it but to do it.
Nothing to it but to do it. And I also wanted to mention that I got those. So I got the 9 things that block goals. I got that from Inc.com. So if you want to look into that, if you want to invest in some knowledge and kind of figure out what's going on, go to Inc.com. They gave more in-depth, you know, opinions and facts on each of those sections. So that will help you become better attuned with what is holding you back from accomplishing your goals. So let's get into ways to stop being blocked. We touched on it a little bit, but let's go into it a bit more. So I know for me, when I'm working with clients, we do SMART goals. Actually, SMART goals is something that corporations use too. Okay. Because it's proven to keep you focused and to make sure you achieve your goals.
Sort of keep you on track.
Yeah, it's proven to keep you on track. You know, you can hold each other accountable because we know exactly what it is we're trying to aim.
And it's step by step.
It's step by step.
Okay.
So a SMART goal is SMART. It's an acronym, which makes it even smarter, right? Absolutely genius. The S stands for specific. Remember, we said that you have to be specific.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? Know your what, know your why. And correct. That will help, you know, that will help get you there. That will help you stay focused on what you're doing. You can't be scatterbrained with a goal. It has to be very specific. Okay. That translates into real numbers and real deadlines.
Yeah.
Yep. So for M, we have measurable. And I'm going to put that measurable or trackable. Something that you can, like, if I want to lose weight, how am I going to know I'm losing weight? Because every week I'm going to get on the scale and see how much I lost. Every month I'm going to check my weight and see where I'm at. You know, if I want to save money, how am I going to save money? Because every week or every 2 weeks or every month, I'm going to look at my bank account and say, okay, I saved this, this, and this, and this, and this. You know, make sure it's measurable and trackable. You know, how am I going to know if I'm improving in my business? Because my sales have gone up. My clients have gone up. You know, my traffic to my website has gone up. Make sure that you can track it. Okay. Use analytics. They're your friend. If you're in business, I strongly recommend looking at your analytics and being purposeful with knowing what I want to reach and if I'm reaching it.
And if you're reaching it, you have to have something to look back at to see that you're accomplishing what it is that you have set before you. If not, you're just winging it. You don't even know what you're doing.
You want to be able to gauge, like, okay, what's working, what's not. What's working, what's not. You know, some people say, I have a goal, I'm going to do this at the end of the month. Well, I say, all right, well, I'll see you next week. Because I'm not just going to see you in 30 days. That's crazy. You know, if you're my client, I need to talk to you next week. I need to make sure that you are on track and I don't just see you in 30 days and you're like, oh, shoot, I forgot about that after week 2. We don't have time for that. So you have to hold people accountable, and you want something that's measurable, trackable, something that we can see the growth in the process, and you want to stay consistent with that. You don't want to just say something and let it go in the wind.
Correct.
Nope. We want to make sure we're tracking it, and we're making amends to make sure it goes the way we want it to. Next one is relevant or realistic, or relevant and realistic. That just means that make sure that your goal aligns with what you got going on. If you like, I want to lose weight, and you a whole 120 pounds, but you just want to lose weight because everybody around you losing weight, that don't make no sense.
No.
That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. If you're like, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna eat nothing but iceberg lettuce for the rest of the month, that don't make no sense. That's not realistic.
And that's unhealthy.
And it's unhealthy. Iceberg lettuce has like no nutrients.
No, that's unhealthy.
So no, you have to. So make sure whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish is aligned with what you want to do. Make sure it's moving in the same direction with where you want to go. Like if I want to start making music, then I'm going to start, singing or doing this, or I'm not going to go to dolphin training because that doesn't align with what I want to do.
Correct.
So realistic and relevant. Make sure if you want to make money, be realistic. Like I said, I want to make $1 million. It's not gonna happen like that.
Yeah. Small step goals.
Start with a chunk.
Realistic.
I'm gonna make my first $200.
I'm gonna start with 200.
Yeah.
And then go to 400 and then continue on from there.
Yes. And I know it hurts for us big dreamers. Put the $1 million on the wall. That's for one day. But for this month, we're going to try to make our first 100. Okay. You have to slow down. You have to be realistic.
Please baby step this thing.
Yep. So be honest with yourself. Make sure it's aligned. Like for another example, if you have 5 friends and y'all are getting into business, but all of your friends are lazy, be realistic.
Yeah. Choose another business partner.
Be smart. Smart goals, be smart. That's literally what it's in the name. So I just wanted to state that out there too. You have to be realistic. Even when it comes to a team, know what your team is capable of and what they're not. When it comes to you, know what you're capable of and what you're not. I'm not the most, I don't respect time. So I'm not going to set myself up for appointments where there's no grace period.
she ain't lying.
No, what you mean ain't no grace over there? I can't come. Sorry. Because I don't know how my life is set up. I need grace everywhere I go. Grace follows me. I follow grace. We work hand in hand. So know who you are and be realistic. People ask me, what time are you going to be there? What time do I need to be there? I need to be there at 2. Okay, I might be there at 2:15 at the latest. Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay. All right,
but she's going to be there. She will be there.
I always show up.
Yeah.
And I always show up and I'm ready. But when I show up, that's a whole nother story. We can't put a time frame on that. That's just God only knows.
Pray for her, y'all.
He orchestrated that thing. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I just get in the car and the car drives me. That's it. I can't help it. Sometimes I gotta go potty at the last minute. I get hungry. So know who you are. Be realistic with yourself. I can't do diets. I can't. I don't like meal planning. I don't like eating the same thing every day. They don't even sit right with me. Ain't enough condiments in the world for me to eat rice, chicken, and broccoli every day. It doesn't work. I don't like it. So be realistic with who you are and work within those boundaries, okay? And that also will keep you on track to get your goals because you're not stretching yourself. You're not turning yourself into someone you're not. You're not being inauthentic. You're aligning your goal with who you are. You're making it easy. You're making it fun. You're making it something you already love to do. And that is another way to make it easy to accomplish your goals. We want you to win. And in order to win, you need to already go in the fields that you're winning in.
Correct.
Stay aligned. You don't have to go too far, act crazy with it. The last one is time-based. And that means that you have to have a deadline. I had researched procrastination, and procrastinators procrastinate until they hit a deadline. And then their brain says, uh-oh, that 20-page paper is due tomorrow. What are we going to do? We're going to do? We're going to stay up all night and we're going to do it. Yeah. So give yourself a deadline. Give yourself a deadline. And if you have a bigger goal, chop that deadline up into smaller pieces so that by the time the big real deadline comes, you're already done. You've already started to make leeway. You're not waiting until the last minute, especially if you're a procrastinator. Start to be, very specific with the dates that you want things done, how you want things done, when this is coming out, when this is going to roll out, when is the new product coming, when am I going to start, launching this new idea? Set a date. And then we don't run it into someday. I'll do it someday.
And never
Maybe
get
I'll
done.
get to it.
Correct.
No, set a date. It holds you accountable. Put it in your planner, put it in your phone, put it in your steering wheel, put it somewhere where you can see it and let somebody else know. Like I said, call somebody and say, hey, in a week, check up on me and see if I'm eating right and if I dieted. If I worked out and did my workout goals this week. Check up on me, see if I saved money or if I was back on Fashion Nova shopping again. So have someone to hold you accountable to and let them know the details of that goal that you're trying to reach.
Correct. And for me, I know that that's one of my shortcoming is the date part of me. Putting a time frame. Now, I have accomplished a lot of my goals. And what I love about writing down my goals is I can always go back and see the things like almost 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, last year that I have wrote down and have accomplished. But the thing is, I don't normally a lot of times put deadlines and time frame to it because I'm just talking for me. When I didn't accomplish that time frame, it was very discouraging. So, and I became less motivated in in that goal because I was angry because it didn't go through, and I had to actually sort of, you have to forgive yourself and sort of let yourself go and be kind to yourself. Like, all right, well, let's put it back on the list and let's try to accomplish it. But what I do is I write it down and say, this is something I want to achieve.
Okay.
And so for those people that are still goal getters and just feel disappointed when there is not a goal, I'm just speaking for me. I know that works for me. With certain things I do have to set goals, certain things that we have to do in our businesses that we're like, okay, it needs to be done on this date. But those big things like I want to move out of town, well, that's been a 13-year goal plan.
Well, that's because also you're relying on other people.
Yeah, other people. So
Yeah.
yeah, it would have been like 13 years back. I would have been done because I know I'm a person that's I like just going. But that was one of the things. So, for those that do have problems with time and setting a date is important because it keeps you accountable and responsible. But I know for me, I'll sometimes on my goals, I don't I haven't set goals. So that's something that I might have to put on my goal setting list of trying to put a date on some of these things that that I have wrote, like I have set for goals.
Yeah.
Now, and I do accomplish my goals. I've seen you've done it. Yes, because I'm one of those check people. I love writing and checking off. So it's not that I'm not completing the task. It's just it might not come this year or next year or during that time frame, but it will get completed.
And that lets me think about teams. So if you have a team, sit your team down and get on the same page. If you are working not individually but with a team or with your household, if you're married, you have a household, work with them on your goals and the goals that you have for your future so that you guys can get aligned, because if you're not all
In
aligned,
agreement.
in agreement, then it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So that goes back into being realistic. You have to be realistic with your team and know who they are and what they're good at, what they're not good at, what are their pros, what are their cons, and then you have to make goals that are that work well with that mix.
Yeah.
So, and we're coming up on our 13 minutes. It goes so fast. So, um So is there anything else that we have to add about goals?
Now, what I wrote down is setting goals will help you control, will help you take control of your life and achieve your dreams. So, goal setting is very important. It's something that can bring such gratification to your life, and you can actually see things unfold as long as you hold on and hold out for that. And it just does something to your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence, and it makes you feel like you're able to accomplish things because you can actually see it manifesting in front of you and unfolding. So
Yes, and that is definitely something I need to work on is goals. I need to start putting my sticky notes back up. I need to do this and this week and this and this week
mhm.
and this and this week. I've been trying to get my life scheduled and in order, but it's just not working that way. So so, and that's why it's good to write it down. And I
Yes.
was glad when you touched on looking back at your goals from 15, 20 years ago. I was sometimes like, who am I? I'm so lost. I don't know who I am. And I'll flip in a
Yes.
notebook from years ago and say, hey, it's all right here.
Yes.
I'm not crazy. This is still me. Like this is stuff that I wanted to do and I still need to get done. So
Hmm.
it's so good to write it down so you can go back to it because sometimes we get lost. We pick up on everybody else's dreams and aspirations. We lose ourselves in the mix of who
We
we're
feel,
meant to
yeah.
be or supposed to be in the moment that we
Yeah.
lose who we really were,
Hmm.
who we really are, and what it is that we have put aside for ourselves to do. Okay?
Yep.
So
And what
write it
God has
down.
put aside for you to do. So it's important because when you're down and you're feeling like you haven't accomplished anything and you're in that real funk of your life where you're like, nothing's going my way, I haven't done anything. And you start opening your journal, you start opening your goal, and you start seeing the things that you've actually checked off. And you're like, whoa, I've done a lot. I've accomplished a lot. And that's what's good with writing those things down. That's what's good with having a journal because you can reflect back and you can see that there's a story that's lined out and you can see where you were and where you are now. And that gives you that boost of energy and that desire to keep going forward.
Yeah,
So
that
definitely,
gratification. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and just throwing this in there again, if you need a life coach or an accountability partner, do that. Find
yeah,
someone who can help you grow. Okay?
yeah. And
All
that's what
right.
we are, life coach to help you stay on track, to hold you accountable, and to see you be the best that you can be and what the universe had for you. So
Yes, amen. And you can subscribe to both of our separate YouTube channels, Life Coach
mhm.
by Sarah, Unite to Ignite for me. We have motivational videos that'll help you get to where you're trying to go. And you can contact us for individual consultations
Correct.
if needed. We love you guys. We love you. Comment below a goal that you're working on, something that blocked you before, but is no longer blocking you now. Let's get it.
Correct.
Let's remove the blocks and chains from off of us and let's go. Let's be
Let's go.
the what 20% of people who actually make goals, and then let's
Yes.
be the 30% of that 20% that actually conquer those goals.
Conquer those
Okay,
goals.
so
Let's
we
do this.
are the exceptions to the rules. Let's go. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye. That's a wrap of today's episode. And once again, this is the podcast, Time for Tea, where we are teaching, empowering, and applying and giving out weekly doses of some good stuff for your spirit. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. Bye.